I'm actually ready to see which teams that are going to be coming out of this particular edition of Lowink here, especially with this being the last one of the calendar year. Next month will be the first of 2026, but we're jumping ahead of ourselves here. Topic: Why don't we get ourselves started? We got two teams to kick us off for this 2-day event: Rainfall and Brushaholics. Which, by the way, if Brushaholics, the team that is going to be here, Topic does not dish out brushes, we're gonna have some really quote unquote kind words we're gonna have to say to them. But these are the two teams that we have. Rainfall, of course, a team I definitely recognize. DHVF, especially being one of them. Topic.
Yeah, I know DH. Good friend of mine goes to Big Dapples, goes to Anarchy Nova as well. I'm like 95% sure that they're a Zap player, which and I'm pretty sure Catboy on the side of Rainfall as well plays, I think, Heavy Edit and Explosher. So again, two of those weapons, very good for our first map, Splat Zone Tacklefish, where I think if Catboy decides to go with either one of those weapons, as NZAP, not NZAP, sorry, with Heavy Edit or Expo, that can do a lot to get their frontliners in. And like you said, I'm excited to see what Brushaholics runs, because if they don't want to brush, I might sue for false advertisement.
You may want to kick them out for false advertisement later down the road, for the most part there. And yes, this is gonna be so much fun to watch to watch both of them go. Rainfall, of course, being the team that has been around the Splatoon landscape for quite some time. So ready to see what they can dish out here. About a handful of seconds before we're about to queue in for this first stage here of Hagglefish Market Zones, and I feel like Topic, every team playing in Loink will have to inevitably run into Hagglefish Zones once upon a time. So I think to all of us here, I want to see which team will get the better start for this. Should be a few seconds away, Topic, and I think this will be a fun start to see between these two teams.
I mean, yeah, here we go. Battle time ready. Low Ink December 2025 is officially starting. And like you said, map very, very well known. A very good starter map, like a Final Destination on Smash Bros. Is my comparison I will use. And oh, okay,
Hello.
Brushaholics bringing out the double brush. Okay, I like it. Along with mediocrity or intent, have that distraction. And then Sean using that Expo, I like it. Expo very good at stopping mainly the shot and the zap from advancing forward on this side of Rainfall. Let's see how they're gonna use that. And so far, doing a pretty good job of that, using along with that tent, just forcing their way in and getting a really nice cap first.
Yeah, getting the first cap of the game, and it's a very solid start for them. It's actually a very interesting combination. The vanilla paintbrush, not the weapon I would expect to see the entire time, but I love the 10 umbrella pick, especially if you don't need that Zuka. Just use the ink bag and try to take care of all the projectiles being flown at your direction. And so far, they're using that right now, trying to provide a little bit of a defense mechanism, but it is just going to be that 3v4 setup there. Inoki on the flank is being caught off guard because the rest of Brushaholics have all collapsed onto them. And Topic, that was a fantastic hold from Brushaholics to get some more points on the board, and they're still holding onto the zone very well.
Yeah, speaking of that hold, I want to shout out the tent player for just stopping that reef slider in its tracks that Rainfall used to get in along with that vac, so no paint went on the zone, keeping this hood going. Vitolo getting a nice double kill, giving even more points. Now Inoki, they are weak, but you see reef slider at the ready, deciding to pop it, is gonna get the zone, and thankfully they get that last brush out of their hair. But now you've seen what Rainfall can, or what Brushaholics can do. With that double brush, you gotta watch your flanks. You gotta make sure that they can't go in. Even if you watch your flanks, they got a tent barreling through mid to stop you.
Yeah, they gotta watch basically both of those brushes. You got the tent that can help provide the shield. I think there's a lot of priority targets that Rainbow has to deal with there. This might have been a bit of a mistimed shark, as we saw one of the members of the shot trying to bounce right in, and they're not able to get the zones cap, not able to get a few picks. They just get snuffed out there. Brushaholics, by the way, still deep into Rainfall's base. They're gonna be out of the penalty points here soon. So the focus is everybody needs to stay alive here if you are Rainfall, but they are completely locked out of their base. Sean has no ink left. That's gonna be okay. They can retreat back, but here comes the desperate reslider that is completely canceled. And Topic, that is Brushaholics. They're just clean out the rest of Rainfall there. What a start for them, though. Getting the KO here to kick off Low Ink, and that is going to be game one going to Brushaholics.
I mean, yeah, just very, very nice there, I will say. I want to shout out again. I believe it was a mediocrity on the tent for not only stopping the Reef Slider twice, having Brushaholics control that court, and not only I want to shout out to Sean as well, especially when they pushed in, when they got to the ramp area and Plat. Having Sean up there on tent, I think it's called. I have like four different names for it. I say call tent on tent, making sure that the plat is just painted and just you're forcing Rainfall to use so many resources to get out of their plat to get towards their court that by the time they get to zone, guess what? Double brush, you're dead. So great job from them, and we're gonna see if they can continue that momentum with a very, very different one, I will say, as we go to tower control ship shape.
You know, ship-shaped cargo code tower control is always the map that I've mentioned becomes very snowbally past the first checkpoint, and I think especially the way that Brushaholics plays all around, I wouldn't be stunned. I wouldn't be stunned basically if they want to keep the same double brush and basically sub they had the vanilla paintbrush and that ink brush double that has that ultra stamp. They can be very aggressive, be in your face to say the least here for this Brushaholics group. So I think I wouldn't be shocked if they don't make any adjustments. I know for Rainfall, probably caught off guard by how fast they were playing their topic, and I wouldn't be shocked if there are a few adjustments, especially with Rainfall being around and realizing, okay, maybe this team may have something to give.
Yeah, and I think this map in particular will help out Rainfall because we saw with Hagglefish that first game, Mediocrity can just send the tent shield through mid, and Rainfall kind of had to deal with it. Right, you couldn't really go anywhere else, but with a bit of a bigger map, you can go that far right side, or yeah, far right side. You can drop. Yes, you're at a disadvantage there, but you can go there, get to the bridge, and try to affect the tower. But again, like we were talking about earlier, that double brush is gonna be a real thorn in the side of Rainfall. But we're gonna see both these teams are ready and raring to go from the side of Rainfall. No changes from then. From the side of Brushaholics, going
Hello.
okay, going wow. Okay, hold on. Go a lot of changes. So we went to the Nouveau Paintbrush for missiles, of course. Mediocrity going over to the Winter Rapid. I like it. It's a rapid blaster. It has cooler, very good. And the Horns Dreadringer Crab, very good on this map. I like that as well. And strikes for that GG strikes as well. So I like the changes, honestly.
I wasn't expecting the pretty much the wholesale. Just everybody is gonna be cleared out of the cleared out here. Let's get some fresh new weapons, a line change, if you will, for the weapons from Brushaholics. I fully agree with you. I think these are very solid weapons for the map that we are dealing here, especially with the second kit paintbrush as well. So I'm gonna be intrigued to see if this cooler and the crab tank, if they get value for the rest of Brushaholics here. Rainfall is gonna try to counter them off, but Brushaholics right away trying to clear out some space for the crew. 220 basically trying to paint with that T-Tech, but they are holding mid just for a little bit longer. Only a minor lead change, only less than a minute into the game. It looks like this is going to be slightly more even, but now it's going to come down to members staying alive here. Rainfall goes 3 down, and top it, this is going to be the first checkpoint being cleared here by Brushaholics.
Yeah, and you see that crab was really helpful. Those strikes fairly helpful for clearing out the grate in front of tower, and now begins the long and arduous trek towards second checkpoint. But with how much of the court that Brushaholics has painted, this could be easy, along with Sean with the crab just raining down all this fire on that left-hand side, able to get to the checkpoint, but DH there doing a great job of just kind of protecting it for now. But it looks like it won't even matter. Just the members of Brushaholics swarming the tower and just making sure they can kind of break through it. They are able to get more points on the board, but you see the defense from Rainfall is starting to show up here, but unfortunately for them, Brushaholics do break through the checkpoint.
Yeah, that's that very unfortunate situation here for Rainfalls. You know, they're breaking through that very crucial second checkpoint. Actually, all three members trying in a triangle formation, basically surrounding one of the members of Rainfall, has still keeping this tower pretty deep into Rainfall's territory here. But now they're getting cleared out. They lose 3. and it's going to be just Mediocrity just trying to maintain mid for as much as they can, providing the jumps. Demon is just trying to see if they can get the punish, and they will get one through the Bazooka. That's 220 going down, and this might give Reignfall a chance to strike, as we do get to see the Reef Slider being burned. Demon does go down. There are a couple members that have dropped across the board, and they get the trade onto Inoki, and this 2-for-2 trade, if anything, will get Reignfall a chance to breathe here. Topic, especially with the way that first push went. They were sucked in defense for the first half of this game, and now Reignfall has the chance to strike here, Topic.
I mean, yeah, but speaking of strikes, the strikes are coming out for Brushaholics to just stop that push in its tracks, but not for long. Nice double kill by Demon. The Crab, at least getting attention away from the tower for now, is not quite going to be enough. And at the no, hold on, never mind. Inoki, the stealth jump is OP apparently, jumping in, breaking that checkpoint, and getting a couple more picks along the way. And unfortunately for Reignfall, that push will stop, but he did a lot of damage now. But now is the biggest challenge of this map. The gigantic trek between first and second. And with how aggressively Brushaholics has been playing, as you see right here, missiles and strikes as well, just to discombobulate the members of Reignfall, they're not letting up at all.
They're definitely not letting their foot off the gas pedal quite yet, especially have Sean that just popped this crab tank. They're trying to basically push Reignfall back, and they're now dropping down the lower ground to see if they can cover that alleyway there, as it is going to be ship-shape. Cargo's snowballing effect here, especially when you lose the 2 checkpoints. It gives Brushaholics a chance to ride that tower all the way home, but they will not be able to do so quite yet. They're going to have to back up here for space. DH is basically lurking on that left-hand side of the map, but so is Brushaholics on the other side, and it looks like one of the members has dropped. That would be Inoki that has gone down, and it is just Mediocrity, not true to their name. They're definitely playing way above it, playing with the rest of the group here with now 2 specials available. 2 members, by the way, also down on Reignfall here. And Topic, what's kind of crazy for Brushaholics, even with the first checkpoint being cleared earlier, they're still keeping the foot on the gas pedal. They're not quite done.
I mean, yeah, Mediocrity, another really clutch kill, strikes, and crab as well, but unfortunately for them, they're not able to clear this top right side, which is what you really want to do on this map. So you see, I believe that was Demon there, getting 2 down as well. Flank is going to get a 3rd one as well, but now, if you are Reignfall, you have 15 seconds plus overtime to get all the way to 11 points. They have to start somewhere as well as getting through that second checkpoint. Very big. Vitolo on the flank, able to get 1, able to get 2. The distraction's gonna work. It's just Catboy on the tower, just waiting for those jumps. There's Demon coming in, trying to protect it. Another one, DH coming in as well, but they're swarming the tower. DH staying alive somehow, some way, not for long though. And that will be Brushaholics shutting the door on that potential push and winning the set 2-0, but this is play all 3, so Reignfall will have a chance to put some points on the board to help them out.
I like to always call it the salvage game here, Topic. It's better trying to actually get at least the 2-1 finish there for Reignfall. And I mean, just a son. I was like, is there a chance that DH be able to save that game for the team? But I think when you see that 3-down situation just continue to go out of control there, and then they're just having to trying to stagger the jumps just to have a chance at pushing there. It was basically just not enough time left. And as you noted, it is a play all 3. Reignfall will have to play the 3rd stage here, and that is Scorch Gorge Rainmaker, probably an infamous map for some. But I'm gonna be intrigued how Reignfall tries to recover here, because I think Topic, to say the least, to kick off their lowing run, Reignfall I don't think was ready for how Brushaholics was gonna play as a unit.
I mean, yeah, we saw, especially in that second game, it's just how aggressively, especially with the switch over to the Rapid Winter, which I liked from Mediocrity, did help. And I think this will help him as well, since Rainmaker, as we all know, this is a very fast and very in-your-face game mode that could flip momentum in an instant. So I think Switch keeping Mediocrity on the Winter will help out, because you can play much faster than you can with any other backline. But we're gonna see they're gonna hop straight into this from the side of Reignfall. No changes from them. From the side of okay.
What?
Very different. So you know what? It's Sploosh, it's Rainmaker. I expect nothing less. And Sean, going back over to the Expo, I like it here. You can clear out ramp, you can clear out court really easily here.
You know what's really funny, Topic? I think this might be the first set in a long time that that this team just decided to say heck the weapons each map. Just change the entire lineup, and it has worked out really well for them so far. And as you noted, back on the note here, I absolutely love the expo on this particular map. It does allow a lot of chance to stabilize, especially with the terrain that this map does offer here. So I think this is a very solid adaptation here. I think I'm gonna, and of course with Sploosh, they're the one with the Ultra Stand. You can continue to be in your face as much as you can. I would love to see how Brushaholics can make this comp work. And so far, Rainmaker was picked up by Reignfall. It has to be retreating back to their side, and it is going to be Mediocrity immediately picking that up. And you get to see 220 trying to stamp their way forward. That is the elimination of the Catboy, and they take out DHVF on the Ultra Stamp toss. That's 3 members down. That's Brushaholics taking the first checkpoint, and top of they're going to see if they can take this one home.
I mean, they're trying to. There's the Reef Slider. Just cancel that and say, hey, no shield for you. But the Ink Fact Shot will get a second member, and DH just picking up to salvage something, staying alive by the skin of their teeth. You see they're in that do not retreat zone, so that timer will tick even faster for Reignfall, so they had to get it out of court. But look how far up Brushaholics is, just keeping them in their courts, wasting time as much as possible. And so far, doing a really good job of that. That back will at least stop it for now. Demon with a nice flank, able to get rid of the tent. So now, if you are Reignfall, you gotta respond some way, somehow. But thankfully, you have a lot of time still on that clock.
I mean, time's still very much on their side. It's still it's still the same push. Nevertheless, here 220 just barely missing on the Ultra Stamp toss there. But the thing for Reignfall is they're getting completely pushed back by Brushaholics there with their just constant in-your-face aggression for the most part. They're even singling out other members of Reignfall every time that Reignfall tries to get flanks off, basically trying to look for openings. Brushaholics just has an answer for them each time. Mediocrity and 220 Vitola are basically trying to move right up ahead. Vitola is going to get eliminated there, but here comes that Reef Slider. Wisely, 220 retreats, even though they're stuck into enemy ground. It was basically their only chance to get away from the Reef Slider that was flying right at them. Reignfall at least is holding some ground here. They got to turn this into points, though. Topic, about 2:23 left to go on the clock. And right now, Brushaholics still in very good control.
I mean, yeah, you see them just dropping because they know they're just throwing bodies at the problem. And so far, it's been working out. Reignfall has been able to respond, but not with any points. But Demon with a very, really nice kill. The arc shot geometry is going to work out. 220 on the flanks, not going to get it. And Reignfall will break through that checkpoint. Mediocrity trying to jump in, trying to stall this out for as long as possible. They're going to go down, 2 members down on this side of Brushaholics, but Vitolo says no and shuts it down. But even after that, the court of Brushaholics is painted in Reignfall's colors, so now it's a matter of can they get through this checkpoint. Reef and Zuka coming out, able to only get 1, able to get 2, but unfortunately the Rainmaker going down will put a stop to their plans for now.
Yeah, it's only going to put a stop in their plans. Their first checkpoint, by the way, would not get cleared if 220 lands the smooth shot, but it's also a very short-range weapon. It allowed Reignfall a chance to get the first checkpoint and maybe a lot more. But again, Brushaholics is doing a great job fending them off. Now has to rotate it to the other side, and it's giving Brushaholics a chance to see if they can basically corner DH, who's on Rainmaker duty, trying to get them cornered as much as they can. But they did lose 2 members on their own. The Ink Fact Shot does not land at all, and that is still allowing Reignfall to get the push going. But the question is, how long does this push happen? It has 30 seconds left. DH almost going forward is not gonna have to chase the strike. They're getting cut by the Ink.
There it is.
Is this the lead? The answer is no. But there's 3 members.
Wait, wipeout.
Full wipeout. That is a wipeout. That's gonna be the lead for sure now. Maybe the KO. Not quite, but Topic, things immediately changing here for Reignfall. Yes, they get delayed wipe, but they get the lead in the last 40 seconds.
I mean, yeah, you saw Brushaholics, they bent, and finally their defense, it broke. And now if you are Brushaholics, you will have to go all the way. But you've proven, you've done it before, you can do it again. You pop the back and the rain to clear out that top right side, to clear out the ramp area. It is going to work for now, as you see the members of Reignfall are all kind of clumped together in that court to stop it, but that's another problem. Rainmaker is there for a reason. 220 with a nice double kill to slow them down. Minoki's the last member up. They're managing to not to get Mediocrity here, so no tent. It will be very, very helpful for Rainfall's cause. But now you see that Reef Slider, you see it. I know Brushaholics sees it, and they're just waiting to pop it. They're waiting for them to get a bit too close, switch up a bit too far, and just end this game, popping it a little bit early, getting punished right away. 220 just deciding to run it. They are gonna run it, but not run it far enough. And Rainfall will snatch a game from Brushaholics to win game number 3, and at the very least, put themselves on the board.
Yeah, a lot of things happening there on that last push. Their topic is there. I think if I saw with a small glimpse, they only had 3 seconds left to go on that Rainmaker push. It was just basically go, go, go. You got to make something happen, and I don't think there would have been enough distance to cover with the way the ink was basically being put down. So it was kind of a tall order for Brushaholics, but massive props to Reignfall, by the way, getting some major advantages there. The wipeout at the end to secure it, and the fact that they're able to run that one up the ramp with 40 seconds left, especially in a map like Scourge Gorge Rainmaker, where, hey, around the game winning push, let's say around the 20-point remaining mark, is usually where you can probably see the team kind of lay off on the gas pedal there. But I mean, Rainfall still hold firm. Yeah, it did happen on the third map where the set already lost, but you gotta at least carry that in a gauntlet day one where you have to play 6 play all threes. At least try to build something off of that third map win and see how the rest of the rounds goes for them.
Yeah, there's and thing is this thing in like regular sports,
Yep.
where you have some good wins, especially like let's say you have like a lot. The best, okay. I'm a Giants fan. I'm gonna put that. I know, feel bad for me. I don't care, right? Like you always have like some good wins. If you can end the season off well, if you don't make the playoffs, just you can get right next year. And I think and kind of a microcosm of that was this set right here where Rainfall, this was a get right game. You went down, you fought back, you battled back, and I think that's going to really really help them going into the rest of this tourney, because like you said, they have to play 6 to play all 3, so they have still a very long way to go.
I mean, as the Vikings fan here,
Okay.
who has had to endure a rough season to say the least, it is exactly correct when you're starting off rather slow out of the gate. You're just hoping, okay, you got to build off of each stage of win there here, and hey, that Scorch Rainmaker map, you can probably view it as, all right, it was a set loss, but at least we got something out of it, and hey, just continue to build off of that. I know Brushaholics, they'll take that dub. You'll probably have to fine tune some things, maybe go back to the shop, rethink their strategies here for the constant weapon swaps, the line changes, if you will, there for all the hockey fans. So that is that round. That is that